Welcome to this presentation on what makes a religion, and can people just make one up? So we're going to start at a different location. We're actually going to start with the Church of Body Modification. Sweet goodness, is that a woman hung up in the air with hooks? Well, yes it is. That picture on the previous slide is from the Facebook site of the Church of Body Modification. Took the screenshot around January 2017. This church, depending on where you look, originated in the early 2000s. It's an organized body that has a president, a board. They even recently removed one of their priests. You can Google it. And these articles about them removing the priest and also just about their religion can help you understand how their governance works. Also, don't think it's too odd that a religious group will have a president. It's actually pretty common, especially since many of them are registered as nonprofits in the United States, so they need some sort of structure. So, some say that the origins of this religion are, well, conveniently close to instances when people were getting kicked out of the workplace due to piercings and tattoos. Others say, no, that's coincidental because this is actually a continuation of older traditions. What will you decide? Well, we're going to check out what the law says. Our laws state that you have freedom of religion. But does the religion have to be official? And an important question for us all is, who gets to decide if a religion is an official religion? Check out this video link below. It's going to detail a girl who sued a school district that had a dress policy that did not allow piercings other than ear piercings. She had a nose ring, and she belonged to the Church of Body Modification. So what does this mean? If the United States government recognizes the Church of Body Modification as an actual religion, then the rights that are laid out in the Constitution protect practitioners of body modification from getting fired or suspended from school if and only if it is for religious reasons. The video might mean that schools need to relax in regard to barely visible nose rings, but that's another story. The idea is that religion is protected if the courts back it up. In this unit, there is a link to a court document in regard to the school kicking the girl out. Guess who the court ruled in favor of? So now what? Now that we looked at the Church of Body Modification, is everything a religion? Can we have a non-religion religion if it is at all a religion? And how much religion can a religious man relegate if a religious man can relegate religion? We shall search for these answers. So what makes a religion a religion? There are 8 elements of religions, according to one of many educational sources. I included a link to the PDF that I have in this course, in case you want it straight from the horse's mouth. 1, they need a belief system, a worldview. They need many beliefs that fit together. These beliefs help followers make sense of the world around them and their place in this world. Number 2, they need community. They need beliefs that are shared. The ideas and rites are practiced by a group. 3, central stories, myths. They need stories that help explain the beliefs of the group. These are told over and over, either through the spoken word or written word, and these may or may not be factual. Rituals, beliefs that are explained, taught, and made real through ceremonies. Number 5, ethics. Well, that's something our world could use maybe a little bit more of. These are rules about how to behave, rules that are often thought to have come from a deity or a supernatural place. These might also be guidelines to live by that have been created over time. Characteristic emotional experiences. Most religions share emotions like awe, mystery, guilt, joy, devotion, conversion, inner peace, etc. and material expression. Religions use things to perform rituals. These things represent belief. It can be a statue, music, painting, clothes, incense, architecture, or a place. And sacredness. Sacredness. Religion sees some things that are sacred and some things that are not. Well, that makes sense, right? Religions also use some objects, actions, people, and places to share in sacredness or to express it. So those were your 8 things that make up a religion. We went through it pretty quickly. So now we're going to look at some things don't like religion or some things don't look like religion. But they're going to end up fulfilling the role of it, okay? Based on those 8 things. So look at the following. Can the following be a religion? And keep in mind those 8. So we're going to look at communism or dictatorships, rabid fans, military, atheism, Disney World. Communism. Well, don't forget there are 2 sides to every story, or maybe 15 or 16. So what does communism have to do with something? Can it be a religion? So we have a word from our sponsor. The links in the course you really need to check out. I included some YouTube links to Kim Jong-il's funeral. Just check that out and be amazed. After you check that out, let's look at questions to ponder in regard to communism. Do they have a book? Do they have a leader? Do they have a purpose? Can they reach fulfillment? And do they worship something? Rabid fans are next. People are crazy, and the other people use Snapchat for them, right? So, are you a believer? Other than the fact that he wrote in Anne Frank's guest book that she would have adored him, which is insane, he does have quite the following. And he has people act crazy when he is around. If you look at his fans, could you possibly say that these people worship him? Is it possible that they have relics that they keep or something that they do, wear, or buy every time they go to a concert? Are the fans, do the fans have end goals in relation to who he is? Do they view their world with him as part of it? Let's check out the military. Military has strict adherence. They follow a moral code, and they can blow the mess out of stuff. Militarism. Not only does military have a system of rules with a hierarchy, they even have an ism. And of course, just because something's an ism doesn't mean it is a religion by default. It might mean it's a philosophy or a way of thought. But think back to those 8 points. Having a system that defines who you are and how you view the world, well, that's part of it. And does the military have rituals? Do they have emotional experiences? Think about these things. So, back to communism. They have a book. Yeah, they have a leader. And they kill their dissenters. So, leaders of communist countries have a lot of power. And they end up kind of being deified by the people of that country. Or at least feared like a deity. So the next 2 slides are going to look at communism and how it literally rocked the countries it was in. And this will help you understand Red Dawn a little bit better. Here's your list: country, leader, and number killed by. And these are all communist countries. Cambodia, Pol Pot, 1.5 million. China, Mao Zedong, 65 million, which many people think it's higher than that. Russia, Joseph Stalin, 50 million. North Korea, Kim Il-sung, 1.6 million. Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh, 1.25. And Cuba, Fidel Castro, 73,000. He was such the underachiever when it came to killing his own people. But all of these leaders are revered and all of them have such an effect on their people that you could probably make the argument that these people basically replace a godhead, if you will. So, before you think I made up those numbers of the people that they killed, well, here's some links you can check out. So, how does that happen? If there's a leader, people love him and weep for him if he's sick, and he happened to make Hitler look like a Girl Scout because he killed so many people. How does that happen? Is it possible that the people believe in the leader to the point where they are going to overlook the serious transgressions, like killing a quarter of the population? They do have a worldview. They have an enemy that helps their basically the paradigm they live within. They need protection. They get that from their leader. They have relics. Check out Mao's Little Red Book. Read about that. Now we're going to look at atheism. So hear me out. This one might get a little touchy. So what is atheism? Well, atheism is the doctrine or belief that there is no God. And for many people, they're just defining who they are or what they are by what they aren't. But it does become a system of belief if you examine it carefully. So atheism, and I put this about, it's sort of like asking people what they want to eat for breakfast, and they reply, I don't eat cereal. Well, that's kind of like atheism. Like, what religion are you? I'm an atheist. Well, they're basically saying they aren't, but are they? Could it possibly become like a religion? And so questions to ponder. Does atheism have a system to relate to other people? Do atheists have a particular worldview? Can atheists hold things in high regard over others to the point where it becomes sacred? And Disney World. And for this, we are going to create a 4-column chart. So here's the list of common items. The holy place, you have Mecca. The leader, Muhammad. The relic or book, the Quran. The emotional experience, you go to Hajj or you visit imams. And Jerusalem, Moses and Abraham. The Torah, the Talmud and the Wailing Wall. Disney World, Mickey Mouse, mouse ears and a fast pass, roller coasters and watching Frozen, and Salt Lake City, Brigham Young, Book of Mormon, exclusiveness in temples and baptism of the dead. Well, they all kind of fill in those slots. But could Mickey Mouse be a leader or a deity? Could the relics be mouse ears? This is an extreme example, but I just wanted you to see how basically people can make things sacred regardless of what it is. So that's on what makes a religion a religion. I need you to ponder what exactly makes a religion. I gave you 8 points, and I want you to choose one of the things we covered in the end and discuss whether or not you think it is technically a religion. And I'm going to go back to that slide again so you can check it out. Here we go. So we have, oh no. Yeah. So here are the things I want you to look at. And you are going to write a paragraph on whether or not you think one of these is a religion or fulfills the role of religion based on the 8 things that make a religion. So be sure to look at it. Don't just say, nope, it didn't. What you need to do is you need to list out those 8 things and see if you can find out what would actually fulfill those slots to make these things a religion.